Good morning to you. If you just joined us, we hope that you've had a very restful 4-day weekend, more like, especially because we had an extension due to the celebration of the Osagefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. May he continue to rest in perfect peace. But that's why that song is asking where he is, because he promised that this country will be peaceful, will be safe, will be protected. But as it stands now, is that the situation? And if it's not, how does Nkrumah feel about this? Well, if you've also been with us since the beginning of the show, we're grateful that you stuck with us, and it's time now for the big issue. And so we know and we hope that you stay with us through it all. And you can also join in the conversation as well, especially if you join us via Facebook at TV3 Ghana. We're streaming live, and there you can also send real-time messages, opinions, questions, etc. while you watch us, and we'll see them and hopefully read as many of them as possible. Again, at TV3 Ghana on Facebook. You can also join us on Instagram and X at TV3 Ghana and drop your messages there. We're also live on DSTV channel 279. And this morning, we're looking at two very key topics. The first one, of course, will be looking at the Reoccupy Jubilee House demonstration that took place in the last couple of days. And so 3 days ago, that demonstration or protest started, even though the police had tried to reroute, the location for the demonstration. So we'll get into that because as it stands now, per the police's statement, they have arrested 42 of these protesters. But yesterday, one of the lawyers for Democracy Hub, gave an update on the number of people they suspect have been arrested, and they pegged it at 46. And so we'll get into that as well, including the convener of Democracy Hub, Olivier Baka Vomawo. And the police has indicated that they were arrested due to a number of reasons, including obstructing traffic and acting in all illegal ways. I mean, whichever way. We'll get into that conversation shortly. And then also, last week, right before the holiday officially began, there was an official balloting for positions on the ballot paper ahead of the 2024 general election. So all the political parties that had been cleared, plus the independent candidates, 13 in total, were at the Electoral Commission headquarters to ballot for their positions on the ballot paper. And so we'll get into that conversation, especially because some accusations are flying about against the NPP and the LPG, indicating that they may have swapped their ballot numbers. But the LPG leader has spoken, used some strong words to describe the people who might believe any of these allegations. And so we'll get into that. But just a reminder as well that as you're watching us, you can win some cool cash as well. Cash out is happening right here on the show every single morning. Just dial *439#, select option 2, which is TV3, and keep playing as many times as possible. Don't play just once and relax, because there's someone who's playing as many times as possible, and they're likely to win that 1,000 Ghana cedis. In fact, 3 of you will get to win 1,000 Ghana cedis each on the show before it ends. Let me say good morning to my special guest, and good morning to you if you're watching us on Facebook as well. We're grateful that you joined us. But Delali Sewepo is the National Communications Team member for the NDC. He joins us in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
It's been a while since I last hosted you on the show.
Yes,
You've been busy campaigning?
The not.
There was not. I remember that. I remember that. But you've been busy campaigning?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been busy campaigning. Unlawful is now Koyo. He's going around meeting the constituents of Kaswa and highlighting her policy. And aside that, we're also highlighting the policy of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So we even wait for you to come for a return match. You want a return match? Sure, we want a return match. You're not satisfied with what happened? No, really, Unlawful is now Koyo have a lot to say relative to Kaswa. So okay. We are just hoping that our opponent will be able to avail herself for. Well, debate, yeah. We're not sure if we can return because we still have a lot of constituencies that we're yet to cover. And so hopefully, if there's time, if it will permit us, we probably would come back. But also joining us in the studio, Nanaya Sapon is a political aide to Alan Tremonting of the Movement for Change. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while.
How many of these shares do you have with the butterfly on there? Can you imagine?
You want one?
Do I want one? I mean, a butterfly is always beautiful. Why not?
You always have a butterfly behind
Yes, we have it on our sets. But
butterfly is a beautiful creature.
It is not part of Movement for Change. It is TV3 New Day Butterfly.
You can say, but you go explain tire.
Is that what you're telling me this morning?
So, but you know, it's so beautiful how when you have gone to any function, and then you are served on item 13, you do not have any other name for it. But then once we're talking about prosperity, we're talking about enhancement, we're talking about refreshment, then we're talking about an item 13. And so it's been a beautiful week. I mean,
where item 13 represents your number 13 on the ballot. Of course,
what else do you think I'm talking about?
Okay, I see.
So Asieho has always been a very good position. You know, if you know the political and electoral history of Ghana, and then you would understand. And those of them who come from the tradition of the UP, they also understand what Asieho means and what Asieho did for us during the Kufuor times and others. And
for you as a movement for change or for MPP?
What it did years back.
For the MPP?
Yes, and they understand the terrain. And so even the NDC, when they realized that we were Asieho, they got a bit panicked, you know.
Did they panic?
Yes, of course. Being Asieho was...
But they were Esruho, so it wasn't really a problem.
Well, I don't know where they are now.
In Fifi.
So,
they said they are, what, breaking the eights to reset the eights to...
That is...
You hold on.
That is speaking of too many English. Not too much of English, but too many English.
I see.
You know? It's simple. When you have taken your ballot, as Asieho, you look no further. Item 13, Obiabedidi. We would make the economy so prosperous that everybody would have a fair share.
Every day will be refreshment.
Every day. Now, if you have a prosperous economy, what else do you expect?
I see.
If you have a prosperous economy, you will not be hustling and thinking even not to go on leave. People don't go on leave because they have to struggle to make ends meet.
That's why everyone is entitled to leave.
But people don't go because pay leave, but you see...
Maybe it's because they are not aware that
they are aware, but they say they don't want to go.
But let's leave it there and start off the show. And also, we're expecting Kwesi Botwe Jr. He's a member of the NPP communications team. We're hoping that he'll join us. And much later, we'll have Professor Bafo Ajimandua, co-founder of CDD Ghana, join us via Zoom to also speak to us on a number of the issues that we'll be discussing. But this morning, let's take a look at a statement that was released by the Ghana Police Service, giving details as to why they arrested certain persons who showed up at 37 to protest against galamsey, and they are all, we're told, members of Democracy Hub or just concerned citizens who decided to show up to demonstrate, even though the Ghana Police Service had tried to reroute, their location, and that's because they said they also had some activities to engage in, and that's why there was a need to block certain parts of the road. And so, producer, if you can just zoom in so I can see it properly. And so this press release was put out on the 22nd of September 2024, and this was 2 days ago. And it reads, well, quickly before I even move on, let me just also say happy birthday to the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Kingsford Bagbin, pardon me. And this is also coming from Honourable Abla Jifa Gomashi, and she says that please wish him for me. He's an amazing human being who believes in empowering women, and I totally appreciate him. And so, Right Honourable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, happy birthday. It's your 67th birthday this morning. But let's go to the statement now, and then shortly after that, I will cross over to one of the lawyers for Democracy Hub to have a conversation with him about what the updates would be as per this morning. So let's take a look at the police statement as it was released 2 days ago. And it says that following the disagreement between the Ghana Police Service and the Democracy Hub regarding the choice of location for their demonstration and the subsequent utterances by the organizers, the Ghana Police Service launched a special operation aimed at safeguarding the safety, security, law and order in the city. And as a result, some roads were blocked and traffic was diverted in some parts of Accra. Officers from the MTTD were deployed to the affected areas to manage traffic and assist the motoring public. And so the Democracy Hub demonstrators unlawfully took over the 37 intersection and engaged in the following acts, amongst others, intended to cause extreme inconvenience to the general public: blocking the intersection in all directions with vehicles and stones, setting fire in the intersection, harassing other road users, abusing police officers, banging on vehicles, and playing football in the middle of the road. So these un-Ghanaian, uncivil and unlawful acts of the demonstrators caused extreme inconvenience to commuters who were caught in traffic for several hours. Persons in need of medical care had difficulty reaching the medical facilities. Families visiting their loved ones who were on admission at the hospital had difficulty getting to them with essential supplies. There were delays in people attending social and cultural activities such as funerals, which define us as a people. And there was a negative impact on commercial activities, including people missing their flights and others not being able to access their businesses. But now let's go to a statement that has been released by Democracy Hub, the legal department, and they are not happy about the way some of their members were arrested and the fact that till date they are not even aware as to exactly where majority of their members are being kept in the police cells across the country. We have been able to put together a list of some police stations across the country where we believe a number of them are being kept. But at the same time, their lawyer spoke, and as I said yesterday, he said that they were not even being given, access to some of their clients. So let's just read a bit of that statement, and then we'll go to their lawyer who is waiting for me on the phone. And so this is from Democracy Hub, and it reads, I bring you compliments from lawyers for protest defense. And it says, we are an assembly of lawyers who dedicate a part of our professional services to representing protesters. Considering the various arrests which the police have made on September 22, 2024, we will be grateful if you could provide us with the following particulars of information. A list of arrested or detained protesters, because they don't have that list. Yesterday, they pegged it at 46. But even that, they said about 46. Also, the police stations or detention facilities where the arrested protesters are detained, the courts before which the arrested protesters will be arraigned, which we are told will be today, the dates and times at which the arrested protesters will be arranged. And also, please let us know if you need further assistance from us. This is signed by Noah Adamte, and he is the lawyer for the Democracy Hub protesters who were arrested. And so he's on the line now. Let's just quickly cross over to him. Noah, good morning to you. Hello, Noah.
Hello, Bella. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well. Things could have been better if the protesters have been released, but I'm good. I'm good.
Well, yesterday you spoke to Alfred Okansi on Ghana Tonight, and you pegged the number at about 46. These are the number of protesters you believe may have been arrested by the Ghana Police Service, even though their statement read 42. And you've been asking for some specific details as to how many of them and where they are being kept. Do you have that update as of this morning?
No, we don't have that update at this morning. So at the time the police put out their communique mentioning that 42 persons had been arrested, that was before some other persons were arrested yesterday. So that is why we have an idea that the number is around 46 currently.
Okay.
But also, I had mentioned earlier that they have been dispersed across various police stations in the country, in the city, sorry. So we have to be roaming these stations to track the people who have been arrested. And so far, we've only been successful with about 13 to 15 people. So there are over 20 people that are unaccounted for as I speak to you currently.
About 20 people unaccounted for?
Yeah, over 20 people.
All right. This is disturbing then. I mean, for those that you've been able to account for, have they been given the chance to interact with you directly just so you can represent them in court?
No, unfortunately, for every police station we have visited, even including two new ones, that is Shukura Police Station and then Dansuman, that was visited yesterday. That was like the last stations we visited. We are always told that there is an order from above to the commander or the station officer that we are not to be allowed to see those being held there. There are even places where they have been told not to tell us even if there is a person being held there. So we've not had access to our clients that they're protesting.
When they say order from above, did you find out exactly who gave that order?
So that's one question that almost infuriates everyone you ask, because according to them, they cannot disclose, and we should know that they cannot disclose who the supposed above is. So we've not been told who that person or that institution is.
So what's the way forward now? Because again, we also have heard that a number of them will be arraigned before the courts this morning. If you are not aware exactly where they are being kept and which courts they are going to be arraigned before, what do you do?
Yes, so I think in response to that, I would use the opportunity to correct a notion out there. The lawyers for protest defense isn't lawyers for the demonstrators per se, or for Democracy Hub per se.
Okay.
We are independent private practitioners that have observed the recurring incidents of inhumane treatment of protesters over the years. And so we have decided to come together to provide services for such persons when they are arrested. Irrespective of whatever happened during the protest, we believe that persons who have been arrested should be treated fairly, as the Constitution guarantees. So what we are doing now is that we are lending our services to each and every protester that was arrested during the 3-day protest.
I see.
And today, we are going to all the courts, because the police hasn't informed us yet of the courts where they will be arranged, which is quite surprising, but that is the issue on the ground. So we are deploying our guys to all the courts in the city where they will potentially be arraigned, and then provide legal services to them when they are arraigned. Because some, aside not having access to lawyers, most of them have not even had a chance to speak to their families. So we want to streamline our activities and then ensure that these persons have representation wherever they are arraigned.
I mean, is it even legal? Because you're also a lawyer, if you can educate the public a little, is it legal to have people arraigned before the law courts without legal representation, especially if they are, they are not being given the legal representation against their will?
Yeah, so it's absolutely unlawful, because the law requires that at the time of arrest, the person should be informed of the reason for his arrest and his right to counsel. Now, from all indications, those who were arrested were not given their right to counsel. Most of them, their phones were taken from them. There are people in Legon who mentioned that their phones were taken from them at 37. They don't know where their phones are. They've not even been able to reach even family. So it is absolutely unlawful what we are seeing being done to these protesters. And even when they are charged, the police must inform them of the charge. And then even before their statements are taken, they must be informed that if they want to have representation, they can give a call to their lawyer or reach their lawyer, who must be present before their statements are taken. But all of these have been done by the police without the protesters having access to their accounts. So it is absolutely unlawful, and we are hoping that when they are brought to court, this is one of the issues that we will raise to the courts this morning. But beyond that, we believe that we, the lawyers for protest defense, believe that it is about time that the Ghanaian courts take a very strong stance on these, not just irregularities, but serious breaches of constitutional rights. The courts cannot look on for the police to treat persons arrested when they arrive to be presumed innocent. Innocent is provided under the Constitution to be treated just anyhow, just because they are protesting for the betterment of the country. So beyond today, we are hoping that we would also engage the courts in all legal manner to ensure the courts take a very firm stand on how protesters are to be treated, even if they are alleged to have committed a crime during the protest.
I see. Well, thank you for speaking to us. Just quickly, before you go, how many of you lawyers have formed this group, Lawyers for Protest Defense? How many are you in total hoping to defend these protesters?
So as of now, we are about 85 lawyers who have volunteered our time for this cause.
So this is pro bono?
Yes, purely pro bono.
All right. Well, thank you so much Thank you for speaking to us, and I'm sure we'll cross over to you much later for some more updates. But that's Noah Adamte. He is a member of the Lawyers for Protest Defense. And like he said, a number of them have come together to provide free services to the protesters as and when they need it. And, well, he said quite a number of things, including the fact that per the actions of the police, the law has been broken as well on their part. And so what does this mean? Kwesi Botwe has also joined us. Kwesi Botwe Jr. is a member of the MPP communications team. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're well.
Very well.
Delali, let me start off with you. I mean, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, good morning, Bella. Good morning to your Cherry and my brothers as well. For me, I've had an experience relative to how the police handle demonstrators. I had an encounter with the police when my parliamentary candidate was arrested at the police headquarters. And fortunately for me, I had that quiet experience. And all the time, one of the things I keep on saying is, the police must exhibit a certain level of professionalism. I mean, it's obvious that, one, the demonstrators were basically out there to demonstrate against the ills of the society. Something that's at the heart of it, protect each and every one of us. Because the issue about galamsey, which has really created a lot of problems, does not only affect the demonstrators who actually, went on demonstration. In fact, it affects each and every one of us. Kids that are being born with defects. I believe that the police officers might have a relative who might have, potentially could suffer such effect of galamsey. We are being told that if we are not careful, Ghana at a point in time will be importing water into this country. As we are being told, the last time you interviewed a toxicologist on your show, and when you look at some of the things that he highlighted as the consequence of galamsey, all of us should be alarmed about what galamsey can do to this country. So what they are doing is a legitimate cause. In fact, if for nothing at all, we should be celebrating them, that a group of people have mastered the courage and the boldness to go on the street, to speak so strongly against the galamsey that the President of the Republic of Ghana made a promise to us that indeed he intends to put his presidency on the line. Only for us to read from the Professor Frimpong Boate's report that indeed this government has institutionalized galamsey. I have had the opportunity to watch a video between a banter between Ekwawusi and Professor Frimpong Boate, where Ekwawusi admitted in the said video, when Professor Frimpong Boate said, Ekwawusi told me that indeed the General Secretary at that time, who happened to be the CEO of the NPP, said the party need money, and for that matter, people should be given the free will to engage in galamsey. I've read Professor Frimpong Boate's report, where known government appointees were cited, were complicit relative to the issue about galamsey. So when you have a group of Ghanaians who are saying that in spite of the fact that we are in Accra, we appreciate the consequence of galamsey, we appreciate what it can do to the good people of this country, we appreciate the fact that if you are not careful, all of us, a time will come, we have to import water into this country. Water is a necessity. I mean, Bella, you can sit down today and say, listen, once you decide not to take Fanta, you can opt for what we call alternative, like maybe more, let's say malt or what have you done. But when it comes to water, it has no substitute. Our life depends on it. So I believe that this group of demonstrators should be celebrated in spite of the excesses of the demonstration that we witnessed. But you see, there's something that the police must know.
Which is?
This mantra, order from above. I have experienced it before. Right here at Cantonment Police Station, where we got to the police station, my parliamentary candidate was arrested. When we asked every single police officer there that what crime has she committed, they say order from above. When you speak to the regional commander, order from above. Any police officer we spoke to on that very day, he said order from above.
So they didn't have the details as to why she was arrested?
It's about certain political machinations and manipulations. And you see, the police must understand.
No, but why do you attribute that to politics? Because order from above could mean the head of, the police service, maybe the IGP, which is why they're saying order from above. It doesn't necessarily mean it is
relative to
political order.
Relative to the arrest of my PC, the national chairman of the NDC had a meeting with the IGP, the top brass of the police service. And they were also talking about order from above. So beyond the IGP, where would that order be coming from? Is it not the interior minister, the minister for national security, or even from the presidency? And these are political actors. So it's time to make the argument that when you are talking about order from above, it's coming from certain political machinations and what have you not. But what for me is very instructive, I think our police service must be more progressive. No, you've issued a statement to the effect that people have been arrested. You've indicated the number of people that have been arrested. Is it not also imperative for you to tell the names of the people who have been arrested, the police station that they've been sent to? I mean, it's quite instructive. As I speak to you now, there's a young lady called Prisla Dubulu. She's a nursing mother. One journalist called me and said, Delali, my sister has been arrested. She's nursing a child of 4 months, and they cannot locate the whereabouts of the mother. I mean, the police sometimes must exhibit a certain level of conscience. You are dealing with a group of people, citizens of this country. See, I know police officers, once upon a time, they were in uniform. They were brutalizing citizens when they embark on demonstration. Today, as we speak, they are in pension. They have retired. And they themselves have also become a subject of the institution that they created. So I am saying that Ghana Police Service must know one thing. Anytime you see citizens of this country embarking on demonstration, they are embarking on the demonstration for a worthy cause.
But the police did not prevent them from embarking on the demonstration.
I agree.
It was the route that they chose that the police did not agree with them on. And they even advised them, gave them a number of other locations that they could. In fact, if I should read it, it says that the police therefore suggested the following 7 locations to them for consideration: Cantonments Post Office, DVLA Stretch, the VAG Association Junction, MTN Head Office on the Liberation Road, Elwak Side Park or Brass Sports, Kaukudi Park, Ifo Sutherland Park, and the frontage of the Trade Fair. It says that the organizers refused, and regrettably, no agreement was reached, which is why they had to act in the way they acted.
Like I said, I mean, usually when it comes to demonstration, there's bound to be an excess in respect to that. But what I'm just saying that the police must exhibit a certain level of emotional intelligence. Okay. I mean, these are a group of people. The reason why they were demonstrating, right, it's something that is at the heart of destroying this very country. So once in a while, you expect that people might go out of their way to engage in certain things that probably is unlawful. But the way you approach it, Bella, let me tell you something. This life, 90% of what we do is all about how we react to things. They might have gone out of their way and probably engaged in something that is unlawful, but the way you handle it matters. Okay. That is why we have had an instance when you go to Ujra constituency, what do you call it? I've forgotten the name of the Ujra constituency, where people were demonstrating and somebody was shot. Right? So the police at any point in time must know that, listen, this demonstration that we are looking at, those who are embarking on the demonstration, at a point in time, they become so emotional about the issue about galamsey. Because the issue about galamsey, Bella, it's not something we should take it lightly. I have seen an instances, a mother, right, who got married. I mean, they got married for almost about 6 years without a child, and the woman conceived only for her to go and deliver with defect as a result of somebody's inability to fight galamsey, because of a government that has refused to deal with the galamsey menace. Because of a government that has refused to fight galamsey, a government that within their corridors of power, people are deeply involved in galamsey. I think the police should rather be interested to go and look for people, right, who were fighting against the then minister, Professor Football, when it comes to fighting against galamsey. Have they not read the reports? All right. Have they not read the reports?
Let me bring Nanaya in, because I'm quite surprised. I thought that for some reason I would find some members of Movement for Change on the streets demonstrating with the Democracy Hub protesters.
We have a lot of members of the Yellow Army who probably may not be known to the public.
But they showed up.
What is most important is that the call for the demonstration was a good call. Every member of the Movement for Change, and by extension the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, was in support of the demonstration. But
did you show up? I'm asking that because, again, when the NDC also staged that protest, you know, concerning the voters register and all that, you came out in your numbers, you showed up. Which is why I'm asking if there was any member at all.
We had made very clear stands. We have issued a statement. The youth army, that's the Yellow Army, had issued a statement on the issues of galamsey. And there is a clear stand on it. We are calling for a complete ban. In fact, we've gone to the extent of stating that it's a national security issue, and for that matter, it should be declared a state of emergency in those areas. Bella, if you've been to these areas yourself, and I always say that it is not looking at it from the pictorial view or the videos of it on social media. If you have been there in these areas yourself and you see the water and you see how much destruction they have caused to the land and the people who live in these areas, Bella, you will be out there yourself demonstrating.
I have seen it.
It is heartbreaking. Yes, I raised a question yesterday. I said that, so was the police trying to tell us that they did not know that this kind of a demonstration or protest would have excesses? This protest, this demonstration was one of an emotional one. All right? Citizens protecting state property, protecting vulnerables, citizens going out there to protect what the police should have been protecting. I don't know if you've seen footages of the gentleman, Oliver.
Back of Omawa, yes.
Being arrested.
Yes.
You saw how the police were dressed? As if he's, I don't know what word to description to give him. Can we have this same police dress that way and go to these galamsey areas? We would love it. Dampari is doing a very good job. He should lead it. He shouldn't tell us that we should show him where they are. They know. Dampari, he knows. He knows. He has a lot of information on the ground. I mean, he's one IGP who goes around with a lot of cameras on him. So he knows. You should go out there.
But that doesn't mean that if there are people protesting and to some extent they are destroying certain properties along the road, they do not pick them up. Because again, I don't know if you saw videos of them destroying some
what I'm saying is
paraphernalia belonging to certain political parties. I mean, no. It's just a question I'm asking.
Let's be real.
Beyond
I saw them and I said
the police also listed a number of things. They said they were harassing other road users, setting fire in the intersection.
Did they not know
playing football, banging on vehicles? And these are the reasons they arrested them.
This kind of protest would have excesses.
And how does the police handle these excesses?
They were supposed to handle it more professionally.
Where professionally means?
Bella, they are saying that they have arrested 42 protesters, right? Organizers are saying that they have
about 46.
46, 48.
Yeah.
Even with the 42, the police is not able to give us the list and the whereabouts of these persons. Now, is it not in their right that when they are arrested and they are taken to a certain police station, a certain cell, that cell or that police station should be named, that their families should be contacted, that the organizers of the protest should be contacted and tell that, listen, we have A, B, C, D persons who are supposed to be part of the protesters. They have been arrested. They have been taken to cantonments. They've been taken to Dansuma. They've been taken to this place. So that if there is a need to provide them with legal assistance, with lawyers, whatsoever, then they do. Now, you've kept them how many days now?
Well, per the law, they are not supposed to be kept beyond 48 hours before being arraigned, without being arraigned, or being arraigned before a law court. So details that we're hearing indicates that they will be arraigned before court this morning.
This morning?
Yes.
Which court?
That's the question that the lawyers are asking.
We should all be worried.
Details.
This is an electioneering year. Tomorrow, if I wake up and then I can't find any of the members of Movement for Change, do you think I can go to the police station to ask? Because they would not be willing to even tell me. And I'm speaking from experience. Bella, when Hobson Adoye was arrested, now he was not even arrested. He was invited to the CID head office. When he got there, comme ça, wait small, just give us a few minutes, we'll be with you. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., he was taken to the Accra police station. He was with a lawyer. We wanted to get him bail. If you're arresting him, let's get him bail. You know the time they took him to the Ministry Police Station? After 6:37 p.m. We were there. And this same man called order from above.
You also got that?
We said there is a man called order from above who says that they can talk to us. At the point, even a statement. So we are in an electioneering year, Bella. Most of these things are going to happen. And this is a crucial election. Just like it happened in 2016. Just like it happened in 2008. So the police should be prepared for more of these actions. The police should be more proactive and not to be reacting to situations. I totally agree with whatever that happened. The arrest because of the excesses. So I'm a private citizen driving my car, and you're a protester. You shouldn't be banking on my car. But when the police has arrested that person, the police should be able to tell
exactly where they are. And I'll come to you, Junior, because again, I don't know where the NPP stands on this matter, especially seeing that the biggest concern for the national youth organizer for the party and some members within the party was more about the distraction of their party paraphernalia than the real reason why these protesters were on the streets fighting.
Have you moved from me?
Yes, I have. Don't worry, I'll come back. But I'm trying to manage the time for everyone. But let me bring Junior in. And so I really want to understand where the MPP stands on this. Were you for or against the protest, or were you more concerned about the distraction of your party paraphernalia?
Thank you very much, Bella. Good morning to you. Good morning to my colleagues and everybody watching us. I think that to start with, MPP is not against any group of persons exercising their constitutional right. In fact, in this country, MPP has been one of the political parties that has been that has done so well in safeguarding our democracy and protecting the sanctity of the Constitution. And demonstrating and hitting the streets to organize protests are part of the constitutional rights enshrined in the Constitution. So I think that the MPP isn't against anybody demonstrating. But Bella, you would agree with me that a license or the right to demonstrate is not a license for lawlessness. What the MPP is against is lawlessness and the arrogant display of the lawlessness. That is what the MPP is against, because we have all seen in videos where the conveners for Democracy Hub were destroying, like you have said, paraphernalia belonging to the New Patriotic Party. And it may interest you to know that the core duty of the police is to ensure law and order. And they ensure this law and order by protecting lives and properties. The party flags that they were destroying are properties belonging to the New Patriotic Party. And so the police had a duty to protect those properties. And
same for the river bodies.
Exactly, I agree. But if, we are all concerned about galamsey, and the NDC isn't immune from the blame of galamsey. Galamsey didn't start in 2017. It has been an age-old problem in this country. In fact, in 2020, we even heard their flag bearer saying that when he's voted for, he was going to free the over 76 convicted galamseyers under this regime. We've also seen their former Deputy National Communications Officer at Galamsey site telling the galamseyers that if you vote for John Mahama, he would allow you to do galamsey. We've seen all those things on video. And so when it comes to the fight against galamsey, I think that President Akufo-Addo has done extremely well.
Has he?
Fighting, exactly.
In what sense? Because you look at the state of our water bodies.
But for
they're worse off than when the fight started.
But for the commitment of President Akufo-Addo, probably the situation would have been worse. And so moving on to the demonstrators.
So I cannot allow you to make a statement like that and not give your reasons. You say that, but for the intervention of the president, the situation would have been far worse. What are you using to justify this?
In November 2016, the Ghana Water Company issued a statement that if care is not taken in the next 2 years, 3 years, Ghana was going to import water. Since 2017, I have just seen their statement about some few weeks ago, but since 2017, the fight against galamsey or the galamsey menace has been curtailed. It is. I agree that maybe we haven't achieved 100% efficiency in fighting in galamsey, but it's a national fight. It is not a fight for the New Patriotic Party or a fight for President Akufo-Addo alone. Because I disagree with the fact that there's only politicians who are involved in galamsey. They are chiefs involved in galamsey. They are members of the NDC involved in galamsey. They are members of the clergy and the traditional authorities who are all involved in galamsey.
And the NPP.
And so
you are saying clergy. So that means that you have a list.
No, I am saying that. No, I am saying that the point I'm making is that galamsey is not only being perpetrated by a certain group of people. And so if we want to fight it, let's holistically look at the issue and fight it. But back to the demonstration.
Which is why the president...
Well, allow me to proceed. With the greatest of respect, we are not here to talk about galamsey.
I made a passing comment. Because that's what the protest is about.
Allow me make my point. No, allow me make my point. You can come in with your question, but respectfully allow me make my point.
I will always allow you to make your point. But let me ask my question. I'm the one moderating the conversation, so please allow me to do my job. The president put his presidency on the line. Now, years down the line, as Operation Halt 1, 2, and 3, Operation Vanguard, whatever operation there was, Interministerial Committee, we've come back to that point again where another Interministerial Committee is being set up to look into the effects of galamsey because it has worsened to the extent that we have CSOs coming out, we have the health services all coming out, threatening to lay down their tools if nothing is done about it, because now we're having more babies being born with defects. We're having more people whose bloodstream is being contaminated as a result of mercury in our river bodies and our soil, and all of that. And so it's gotten worse over time. Do you get it?
What I'm saying
the president puts his presidency on the line, and yet we are not seeing any improvement.
What I'm saying is that we need a holistic approach in fighting galamsey. But on a demonstration, I think that the police has even been lenient with the demonstrators.
How
because
so?
In my opinion, there was nothing democratic about the demonstration that was organized over the weekend. Because if you block the entrance to a major referral hospital, the 37 military hospital, and I have read on Twitter that so far about 10 people have died as a result of the blockage of the main entrance of the 37 military hospital.
You read on Twitter?
Yes.
Which page exactly? Is it coming from the hospital itself? From the Ghana Police Service?
It was coming from the Ghana Ambulance Service. The person works with the Ghana Ambulance Service.
So it's one person who has stated.
So over
have you
10
verified?
persons, over 10 persons have died as a result of the blockage.
Have you verified?
And again,
Kwesi,
make my
I'm
point.
going to allow you. But
when the Lali said persons of the NPP are involved in galamsey, did you ask him whether he has verified the information? No, but allow me make my point.
No, you cannot make certain statements here.
No, but colleagues have made statements without you asking them if they have verified.
So hold on.
No, did you ask him that?
You are saying that you've seen a post on Twitter indicating that some 10 persons have died as a result of the protesters blocking the 37 military hospital. I asked a very simple question. Is this coming from the hospital itself? Is this coming from the National Ambulance Service? Is this a formal statement or is just one individual? If it's that one individual, have you cross-checked to make sure that that is actually true and verified?
The point I'm making is that is why I referred to the post. I am not saying that I think. I have referred to a post made by somebody. And so allow me make my point with the greatest of respect.
Can we check,
and so yes, I'll get you the post. Don't worry, I'll send it to you.
And producers, if you can please cross-check and see if it's true.
And so the point I'm making is that we have all seen videos of these protesters engaging in lawlessness, because you cannot block a major road such as the 37 intersection and use there as a football field. We have all seen videos of the conveners playing football in the middle of the street. And for me, it is the impudence and the effrontery and the temerity with which these protesters and demonstrators exhibited the lawlessness. Because we live in a country where, in as much as we respect the rights to demonstrate and the rights to protest, we are also against using violent means to, seek audience from the government or whatsoever. And so I think that going forward, the police must be very strict on these Democracy Hub protesters. Because I have also seen a video where one of their conveners, Ralph, in Chi said, Ghana for ye moi. To wait, Ghanaians are animals, and that this is a national security matter. You cannot call Ghanaians animals and say that if some of them die, there is absolutely nothing wrong just because you are demonstrating. This cannot be democracy.
So that's why they should be arrested.
Of course, they should be arrested because of course they should be arrested. But I am not aware that the police is trying to hide them for any reason. You have told me that, you have said on this show that you are aware. Your source has told you that they are being arranged before court today. So you can you can check from your source.
But the lawyer,
as to where they are being held, because you have said.
Hold on. Kwesi, I spoke to the lawyer this morning, and I asked questions. He even confirmed that per the details they're also getting, they will be
How did they know that?
However, they've been to these police stations, and in most cases, they are being prevented from getting in touch with the people who have been arrested.
How did they know that those who have been arrested are being arranged before court this morning? How did the lawyers know, and how did you know?
How did the lawyers know?
Yes, how did they know?
But the lawyers have been to the police station.
Exactly. So which means the lawyers have been given audience. Which means the lawyers...
However, the number of them, they are not being given the chance to speak to.
So you are not clarifying the statement that there are some of them who have been given the opportunity...
Don't put this on me. I'm sorry.
not putting anything on you.
I spoke to a lawyer. Let's stick to what the lawyer said, not what I said. I have not interacted with the...
No, but you have also said it here.
No, hold on.
You have also said it here.
I see how you're trying to twist this.
I'm not trying to twist anything. No, I'm not trying to twist anything.
So the lawyer
I'm only going by what you have said.
Given the chance to interact with some of these people who have been arrested. And as far as the law is concerned, that's illegal, because before you even take statements from people, you must give them the chance to interact with their lawyers, to have their lawyers present, or at least speak to their family members. Some of them, they don't know where their phones are, they are not aware what's going on, they don't even know what they're being charged with. As per what the lawyer said. Is that right, legally?
No, but you have just mentioned that they are being arranged before court, which means they've been charged with an offense, which means there's a charge sheet. And the lawyer has also confirmed to us that there are some of them, meaning not all of them, there are some of them that they do not know their whereabouts. The police has told us that they have arrested 42 persons. The lawyer is also saying they have arrested, they think that 46 persons have been arrested. And so I think that it is even possible that the difference between the number of persons who have gone missing have not even been arrested by the police, because the police administration is telling us that it's only 42 persons who have been arrested. But I think that the police, in my opinion, I even think that the police over-pampered the demonstrators. Because I have seen a video of Oliver Bakavomewo having the audacity to approach a police vehicle, open the door of the police vehicle, remove the car key of the police vehicle, and throw it away. This cannot happen in any democracy. And that act there's nothing democratic about that act. Do this elsewhere and see if you not get shot. Because we cannot allow this. This is an unprovoked attack on the police service and on our security installation. Exactly. So why are we not talking about the cause of arrest, but rather talking about he being arrested and trying to paint the picture as if the police is being insensitive and not being professional about
Delali,
it. I think
is that the sense? Sorry, your time is up. Delali, is that the sense you're also getting, that the police is being insensitive? And I'll just run through this quickly so we can move on to our next topic.
Quickly, you see, I heard my brother talk about the fact that Oliver, right, took a key of the police vehicle and threw it away. And for him, that constitutes what they call an attack on our police service. That is quite a bit interesting. You know ACP Nanka Bruce, right? You know what happened to him at the Flagstaff House?
What's your point exactly?
He was beaten to pulp at the Flagstaff House by the Delta Force and Invisible Forces. When a group of hoodlums stormed courts when proceeding was ongoing and chased a judge, he didn't describe it as well attack on the state institution. You see, what we are basically saying is this: nobody is here to more or less like to applaud the demonstrators of engaging in an act of what they call lawlessness and what have you. What we are basically saying is this: when you compare what they did, they are more nationalistic than the entire MPP machinery combined together.
Why do you say that?
Because these are a group of people who are fighting against what do you call it? This illegal, what do you call it, menace called galamsey.
Delali, but at the same time, he makes a point that if you look at the actions of Oliver Bakavoma, and the fact that he went to remove the keys from the police vehicle, that was unlawful.
I'm not disputing that. What I'm just simply saying, for him to even sit down here and describe the demonstrators as evil. You are talking about.
He hasn't said.
Just to paraphrase what he said. I mean,
that is your opinion.
What he said. It's amount to calling them evil.
No, that is your interpretation. I haven't said that.
Whatever you want to put it. But you see, you call a group of government machinery, right, who are spearheading this galamsey activity, that they are nationalistic. Why? Have you not cited Professor Frimpong Boateng's report that non-MPP members were mentioned in that report? What have been done about it?
You know, they have poo-pooed that report, by the way.
Who?
Per the Attorney General. That report
if you have a
does not give enough evidence to even warrant any arrest on this nation.
Bella, the fact of the matter is this. The Attorney General, right, prosecutes on behalf of the government of the Republic of Ghana. the Attorney General, right, do the bidding of the President. The President issued a statement to the effect that Professor Bobanti's report is an expression of grievances. So what it simply means, the President has rubbished the report. Because right there at the President, I've read the report, somebody like Frank Bequin, who happened to be Protosia, who happened to be one of the darling boys of the Chief of Staff, was mentioned in the said report. Captain Koda was mentioned in the said report. Captain Koda is one of the top security guru around the President. He was mentioned in that report. Gabi Ochidako, the man being described within the political sector as the de facto Prime Minister, was mentioned in that report. So you expect the President to do nothing but to rubbish the said report. So in these instances, in spite of the fact that there were excesses related to how the demonstrators went about their demonstration, on any day, I will side with them because they were being nationalistic, they were protecting Ghanaians, they appreciate the consequence of galamsey, the galamsey that the NPP has failed woefully to fight. Because at the end of the day, and you were talking about the fact that I made an allegation, I made reference to a particular video where Professor Bobanti Ekwewusi, in that particular banter, Professor Bobanti Ekwewusi said, you told me, the then General Secretary of the party, the CEO, told you that the party need money, and for that matter, we should allow NPP members to engage in galamsey activity. I made reference to that particular video. So, nothing untoward relative to what I've said. And what I am simply saying is this. Demonstrators have done something that is untoward. The little you can do, the best you can do, furnish their, what you call, their lawyers, where they are being kept, the nature of the charges. So that at the end of the day, because they are entitled to legal representation, is that not it? They are entitled to legal representation. If you think they have done something untoward, allow their, what they call, their lawyers to have to confer with them, so that at the end of the day, they will do what they can do in order to work for bail for them. That is what I'm saying.
Nanayao, in this case, what should be the way forward? I mean, if you listen to Christy, he thinks that the police even over-pampered the demonstrators.
Of course, that is what he would say. You see, I'm toward. And so they would speak violence.
How is this
if
violence?
The police could have worked in a better way, in my view. All right? The beating of war drums will not help. I think that the police could do better. And I still stand by that point. I don't know if you've seen the footage of the pensioner, the woman with the granddaughter.
The 62-year-old woman, yes.
You saw how she was handled. Let's assume that was your grandmother. You tell me that the police were lenient. Let's assume that was your family member. You would say this. Beating war drums. I was in Tamale during the days of the Nanumba Kunkumba war. I have seen blood as a child. The trauma. I don't know where some of them were during 2008. But some of us were part of the part 3 of the elections that happened in time. I don't know where some of them were in 2016 when Gabi and Co were being beaten. That was 2008, I guess. And there were marks all over their body. And so, because it's never happened to some of them, they will beat war drums. Who said the police can have a better way to dealing with the issue. You don't incite the police against the citizens whose taxes are used to pay them. Well, when we say galamsey is causing trouble, and for that matter, it's more of an emotional thing, let us understand it. I was sad the day when Al Jazeera aired that documentary, the mafia, the gold mafia documentary, and they painted my president as being part of it. It hurt me. And you know, the presidency actually threatened to sue them. I don't know the extent of that story. This galamsey thing is very emotional. And so today he will sit here, and as part of those who have been named, which I don't know, but per the reports, we are told that politically exposed persons, we have the understanding that we've agreed that some chiefs are also part, even because some are being distilled by the Asante Hine. But today he has added another group, the clergy.
I'm not saying the clergy.
And
I didn't say the clergy is
leaders
involved in galamsey. No, he's referring to me, and I think.
Hold on.
I haven't said.
You didn't say the clergy.
I haven't said.
Because I remember you mentioned that. You mentioned the clergy.
I said.
You mentioned chiefs
there are
as
a
well.
whole lot of people involved in this galamsey activities. There are people who belong to the clergy. I didn't say the clergy.
Okay. So
I'm saying there are people who belong to the clergy. There's a distinction between the two.
Some pastors.
That's basically what he said.
So basically, because I have, me as Anthony Tibiana Brofumantini. So as part of the groupings, all right, we have the clergy and the faith-based leaders as part of the named persons. Really?
What's wrong with that?
If we know all of these groups, and we are able to identify to that extent, because when the clergyman is going to the galamsey site, I do not think that he would wear the zarabia or he would put on his collar. And so if we've been able to identify individuals to be able to point to their profession, then it means that we know them. Why are we not picking them up? Why are we not putting in measures to arrest them? You go to arrest these grasshoppers, the smaller ones, and you leave the hawks themselves, the big men, and you think that you are fighting galamsey? No. And I still insist, the police could have done better. We are in an election year, but we would have a lot of these demonstrations. The labor unions have delayed in putting down their tools.
Well, they gave 30 days.
30 days is too much. They have delayed. I sat here where he's seated and I made that statement. They need to put down their tools. Because at the end of the day, you see these persons who are involved in galamsey, when their children are sick, when their family members are sick, they can easily fly them out of this country. But myself and you who are civil servants, myself and you who is a teacher, myself and you who is that farmer whose farmland is being destroyed, might not be able to even afford transporting my wife or daughter or grandchild from Ineini or Dominasi in Bekwai to 37 or Kolebu. Kolebu, I'm told they fixed their lift.
Have they really? Because as at this morning, we saw a video on Johnny's Bites where they were carrying a dead body down the staircase. And so we're not even sure what the situation is at the moment.
So the point I'm making is, Bella, are we going to sit down as a country to allow the NDC and the NPP play draft with the issues of galamsey when we have the possibility of bringing in a new force? Because this has to do with leadership, and I still maintain it.
Okay.
If we have a leadership that is committed, and if we have a leadership that has a political will and has that credibility and integrity and would stamp its feet on the ground, well, galamsey would be a thing of the past.
All right, let me bring Kwesi in.
Because politically they are being financed by these same galamseyers.
All right.
So they are not even able to bite.
Well, Kwesi, if that's the case, we have just about 3 months or so before the president hands over to whoever will be elected after the 2024 general elections. Do we have enough time to fight this as Ghanaians are expecting?
Senior mentioned that I have not been slapped before, and that is why I am beating war drums. Bella, I am sensible enough to know that it is not appropriate and it is not proper to unlawfully enter a police vehicle and remove the key from the vehicle and throw it into the bush. I would not do that. It is only somebody, the greatest of respect, who maybe has a problem, who will do that. And I will not sit here to praise such a person. I will call for the arrest and the prosecution of such a person. I would not be so insensitive to know that we are 3 months into an election to see flags and paraphernalia belonging to the movement for change, remove them and set fire into them. I would not do that. And so if there is anybody who has done that to my political party, then I have every right to say that the police has even over-pampered that person, because if you watch the video, the police stood by watching the demonstrators burn the flags of the New Patriotic Party. I do not think Nana here will be happy to see demonstrators of NPP destroying flags of Movement for Change. I do not think he will be happy with that.
But it wasn't just the NPP
and so
flags that were being burned.
Let's also be. Did you see any Movement for Change flag?
No, but it wasn't just.
What I saw was MPP flags.
We had our reporter.
What I saw was MPP flags.
Well, that's what you saw. But yes. I'm just telling you because I had my reporter, one of our reporters on the ground, and he indicated that it was not just the NPP. In fact, the NDC flag was also being burned. In fact, from the video I have seen, it was only MPP flags that were being burnt. Okay.
And so let's all be sensitive to the fact that we are 3 months into an election. And beating war drums is burning the flags of a major, in fact, the ruling political party in this country. Today, if we have NPP members burning flags of the NDC, I do not think that the NDC would be happy with that. But today, because probably they are the ones behind these demonstrators, the Lali here is telling me that they side with the demonstrators and that they are more nationalistic. Blocking access to a major military hospital in this country is being nationalistic. Blocking the road and causing inconvenience to road users is being nationalistic. Do you know the traffic that was in town on Saturday as a result of this demonstration?
Understood. So you give an example
on the matter of the 62-year-old woman,
along with her 8-year-old granddaughter who were arrested.
Go to the social media page of the police service. You realize that they have issued a communique saying that they were assisting the woman to cross the road and that the woman was not arrested.
So the woman is lying.
The woman has not been arrested.
No, so she said she was released. In fact, so they addressed the media where she said that the only reason they let her go was because after they picked her and her 8-year-old granddaughter up, she asked for social service protection for the 8-year-old, which they didn't have. So they didn't have a choice than to let her go. So has
the police confirmed that they arrested the 62-year-old?
That's her statement.
Whose statement?
That's the woman's statement.
And I'm telling you that the police has not arrested her.
So they were helping her towards cross the road?
We have said here that if the police arrest somebody, the person must be informed with the offense with which she has committed. Did the police inform the woman with any offense she has committed?
Have they informed all the other 42 of their offense?
To the best of my knowledge, they have. And that is why they have been arranged before court this morning. Yes. And so the woman was not arrested. So let's not try to twist the facts.
It's her word against the police. So you're saying she's lying?
I'm not saying she's lying, but I'm saying the woman was not arrested.
So what she's saying is
because what maybe the police did does not constitute an arrest.
So let me get you right.
That does not constitute an arrest.
So you said they were helping her to cross the road?
Of course.
Just cross the road.
Probably they took her to safety. Probably they took her to safety because the place was extremely chaotic.
I read something this morning from the CEO of the NEIP, and he also said that, per what he knows, they were helping her to get an Uber. You are saying they were helping her to cross the street.
So probably after crossing the road, they assisted her to get an Uber.
You're saying
it's still within the same premise.
There was a crossing of the road.
The whole point I'm trying to make is that the woman, the 62-year-old woman, was not arrested. And Bella, you see, when it comes to such matters...
Not to cut you. I'm so sorry. I'll let you come in.
But allow me to learn.
No, I'm not moving on. Don't worry. We just have someone from the National Ambulance Service. They want to respond to that statement you made earlier that someone from the ambulance service had indicated that some 10 people had died as a result of the blockage at the entrance of the hospital. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sorry, I didn't quite get your name. Can you let me know your name and your position at the National Ambulance Service, please?
Yes, I am Clemens Yusuf Keura. I'm the Public Relations for National Ambulance Service.
All right, thank you for joining us, sir. Is it true that there are some 10 people who lost their lives over the weekend as a result of the protest?
Good morning again, and giving us this opportunity to clarify any.
Sorry, you have to reposition yourself. Hello, sir. Sir,
so,
please come again.
Hello.
Please come again. We lost you at the beginning.
As far as National Ambulance Service is concerned, we haven't received anything of that nature. We haven't recorded it.
You haven't recorded any death?
Because of the blockade of...
I'm not getting you well. I really wish you could reposition yourself because I want to get the words from your mouth so it doesn't look like I'm the one conjecturing.
Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
You're saying...
We haven't received any we haven't recorded any information about 10 deaths or even a single death in ambulance because of the blockade of the demonstrators. So I want to make it clear, we haven't received. And even because police was there, when there is, although there was a chaotic movement of vehicles back to...
Hello? Okay.
Problem, although it doesn't go faster the way we want it.
Okay, so there were delays in transporting the patients to the hospital. That is a fact.
Yeah, that one is a fact.
Was that because the demonstrators had blocked the entrance of the hospital?
Yes, once they blocked, but the police was able to do their work and managed to get us through.
All right, but nobody has died.
At all. We haven't recorded a single death.
Okay. Sir, what's your position at National Ambulance Service again?
I am the Deputy Director of Public Relations.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We're very grateful.
Thank you.
All right. So, Kwesi, we just wanted to cross-check that, which is why I was asking if you had fact-checked
that's fine. So it may be true that the person who... I referenced the post on Twitter. I didn't say I know for a fact. I referenced the post on Twitter. But, Bella, the point I was trying to make is that we are worried about galamsey. But to fight against galamsey by using an illegality, it's not proper. You cannot fight an illegality using an illegality. It's totally unacceptable. The demonstrators could have, demonstrated peacefully without causing any violence and, being chaotic. And that would have been fine. But to say that excesses are allowed, excesses may be expected, I do not think that it is proper, because I have already said that the right to demonstrate is not a license for lawlessness and for arrogant display of violence. It is that is not what it means. You may have your right to express your views through demonstrations or whatsoever, of which the NPP respects, but the NPP will not sit down and sit on concern for any person or anybody to destroy party paraphernalia that we have invested into. I do not think that it is proper, and I commend the police for their professionalism. I think that the police must be, I commend them for their professionalism, and I think that all these persons who have been arrested must be prosecuted and be brought to book to serve as a deterrent to all other persons, so that in the next few years we would not have a young schoolboy see a police vehicle, open the police vehicle, and remove the key of the police vehicle and throw it away. And Bella, to land, I think that Bakavemo needs medical attention, because
why do you say that? Are you a medical doctor?
No, I'm making a point.
Are you a psychologist?
Let me land. I'm making a point. Well, clearly, from the things that he's doing and from the activities, the unlawful activities that he perpetrated, it will get to a point, if we don't take it serious, he may commit a very serious offense and go to court and plead for mental incapacitation.
Kwesi, are you
because
a
I do not think that that is what I'm saying, my opinion.
Do you have any medical field?
That is what I'm saying, my opinion.
Then please let's not make such statements.
I'm saying my opinion. I'm saying my opinion.
I understand.
I'm saying my opinion.
You see,
respectfully, that is my opinion.
But I cannot let you make such a statement.
But it is my opinion.
No.
Bella, it is my opinion.
But I will not allow this
because I think that clearly what he did, I haven't seen that before.
Okay, fine.
It almost looked like a Nollywood movie to see a police vehicle. Bella, can you see a police vehicle?
But I cannot allow you to make that
Can you do that? No, can you do that?
No. It's not about whether I can do that or not.
It is totally unacceptable.
If someone does something, allow the law to deal with the person. But don't
I am making a suggestion. I am making a suggestion.
Mental health.
No, I am making a suggestion.
But I will not allow you.
And the reason why I'm making a suggestion is because
my time is up.
One day.
Sorry, thank you, Kwesi, but I cannot allow you to make that statement. And we're hoping that we'll get some more details from the Ghana Police Service. Hopefully, they'll put out another statement today to indicate what the way forward is with the 42 or 46 protesters who have been arrested and whether they've been arraigned before court or not. And I'm sure we'll cross over to their lawyers as well so we can get some further details on that. Well, I'm already getting messages from people who are close to Voma asking that she retracts that statement that she made about his mental health. Kwesi, will you?
I will not.
You will not retract.
Yes, because any person is in his right senses would not.
No. Okay, it's okay. Yeah, now you are insulting him, and
I'm not insulting him. No, I'm not insulting him.
No,
that's not an insult.
It's very disrespectful to even make that statement.
No, I disagree. But it is right for somebody to go into a police vehicle and remove the key.
No, we can all share opinion with.
No, but it is proper. It is proper for somebody to go into a state vehicle, a police vehicle for that matter, to remove the key. That is what I'm saying. It is my opinion.
Wrong.
Because I do not think that.
You cannot disrespect.
I do not think that any patriotic Ghanaian would do what he did.
Please let's mute his microphone. This is a bit too much. We'll have to wrap up. Producers, can I get them to give 1 minute statements, or is time?
No, just 1 minute.
Okay, just 1 minute. I really had wanted us to go into the second topic. So 1 minute just to touch on that quickly, and then we can go. Let me come to Delali first. How do you feel about your number 8 position?
Really, for me, it's what I just want to say is, yesterday I happened to be in the Volta region. My brother and a friend, Adam Agbana, was having some programs, so I was there, and we went to, meet some youths. He was actually speaking to a youth because there was a football gala. And there's one thing that actually resonates with me. And Bella, I'll just sing a song in Ewe, and I'll just translate it to you.
You have 30 seconds.
No, when I met old folks, they were singing a particular song in Ewe. They said, do you know what that means?
No.
It simply means that on the day of election, whether they like it or not, we are going for the umbrella.
Okay.
So the issue about position is immaterial. For what is important to engage the Ghanaians is this. Has to do with the fact that Ghanaians will be looking at, one, what Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia said relative to the exchange rate and what we are currently witnessing. What the NPP say relative to corruption, as today as we speak, we have the PDS, we have the Japa deal, we have what you call a lot of corruption as far as the NPP is concerned. What Ghanaians will be looking at come 7th December has to do with the fact that Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia told Ghanaians that you are buying a gallon of fuel. That was 14 Ghana cedis during President Mahama time. And today we are buying almost 70 Ghana. That will be on the ballot.
Nanaya, number 30, you are saying that is the number of refreshment.
It's a number of prosperity.
Prosperity. I thought it meant refreshment.
Yes, prosperity. No, of course, when you are in a program and you are having your item 13 as the refreshment session, that is when people begin to feel so relaxed and feel prosperous. And of course, Asieho has been the mantra, and Asieho has always been good. And when you are Asieho, you are not filled and blinded with the arrogance of power. You will not see an old lady 62 years that they would make to sit on the floor and you would say she was being helped to cross the road. When you are more relaxed with an item 13, you will not be blinded to say such statements. But Bella, when we have been given the opportunity to sit on national platforms, we should know that everything we say or do is being recorded, and it would be played back to us in the future. And so you do not put your credibility, your personality, and your future just because you would have to speak in favor of somebody.
Your time is up.
But in wrapping up, number 13 is Alan John Kojo Tremantin.
Okay.
We're talking about stability, we're talking about growth, we're talking about economic resilience and economic prosperity.
Thank you. Kwesi,
thank you very much.
Number 1.
In life, everybody wants to be number 1. I think in whatever you do, you want to be number 1. So whatever any interpretation being given to all other numbers are only motivational speakers. Everybody wants to be number 1 in whatever everybody does. And so the Ghanaian people are going to reward the New Patriotic Party because we have delivered on our promises. We promised to revive Anklogo Ashanti. We have today it has recruited over 7,500 people. We promised to revive the West African Milk Company, WAMCO, that was collapsed under the SWR government. We have revived it. Today it has employed about 2,000 persons. We promised to build 1 district, 1 factories, except Nanaya here wants to tell me that no factories were built. We promised to enroll the free senior high school policy. Today, we have done it. We promised every constituency an ambulance. Today, we have been able to purchase over 307 ambulances that are actively working. Okay. We promised to increase the salaries of our security personnel we have. We promised to double recruitment into our security agencies. The NPP has delivered. And so clearly the NPP has delivered on its mandate. Dr. Bawumia promised us the mobile money interoperability. He has delivered. He promised us the drone delivery system. He has delivered. So these are the things that Ghanaians are concerned about, that they are going to vote for and reward the NPP come 7 December 2024.
Good morning to my very good friend Eric. He's watching this morning. Don't worry, Eric. We are good on the show.
Good morning to you.
Kwame, I need to interview Kwame. When is he coming on the show?
No, he's one of your own. You should call.
Yes, I will try and get him on the show.
We've given you a very young vice president.
We hear you. Anyway, good morning to lawyer Dizzy Tamaklo. He says that this is coming from a senior police officer. They are all in custody with the exception of the woman who was arrested with an 8-year-old. Again, this is a quote from the police officer who was arrested with an 8-year-old. She was granted bail to appear before court today. So, Kwesi, what the police officer is saying, she was arrested. So she would also appear in court today. The 62-year-old. So she was not.
It's what you're saying coming from the police service.
Yes.
Where is
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
How come you are the only person who have the statement?
But they are sending it to me.
Cannot expose.
No, but they should
so anyway, sorry, we all saw the woman and the granddaughter with the police. Okay, no problem. Good morning, Guy G. I saw your message earlier. He says that everyone has the right peacefully and unarmed to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions. This right does not extend to unlawful actions, including vandalism or destruction of property. When protesters resort to attacking people, destroying property, whether private or public, they cease to be engaging in a genuine exercise of their rights and descend rapidly into criminal action. That's Guy G. He's watching us from Cape Town. Thank you for your message. We have to go. We have to go. Thank you all so much. So I've been speaking to Kwesi Botwe Jr., National Communications Team member, NPP. Hold on. Delali Sewopo is the National Communications Team member for the NDC. Nana Yaosap on political aid to Alan Chairman. My time is up. We have to go. We have to go. Thank you.
The person wants to know from you. Between somebody who preserved force on national television got exposed and Mike Oliver, who needs a medical checkup. That's
all right.
What the
like. Lawyer, I would need some further particulars on that particular statement to verify if it really came from a police officer or not. Thank you so much. We're heading to North Tongue, I believe, today for Community Manifesto. Cookie is on standby. So from 9:30 a.m., we'll let you in on exactly what their concerns are within the constituency. But step into the world of Dewa 539 for your chance to win big with Dewa Directs and Dewa Chop Money. With Dewa Directs, dial *446#, pick 1 to 39 and win 20 times, 40 times, or 400 times your stake. And win cash every evening at 7 p.m. and on Sundays at 6 p.m. Early birds love Dewa Chop Money. At 10 a.m., dial *446# and choose 1 to 39 and win 20 times, 40 times, or 400 times your stake. Play at dewa-nla.com or dial *446#. If you need help, call these numbers 055-6259-249 or 053-247-9879. Dewa Afa. Remember to play cash out as well, *439#. Select option 2. 3 of you will get 1,000 Ghana cedis each on the show today. And to make sure it is you, be a Telecel subscriber or an MTN subscriber. We'll be right back with more. This is TV3 New Day.